What's up, guys? It's your boy Reaper back here with another video. And if you can tell by the title, it's gonna be "What if Naruto was down Prodigy 2?" So this, alright, if y'all like it, if y'all like this series, hey, just like the video and anything else. But without further ado, I actually subscribe. If you don't want to, you can subscribe and then just like I don't know, you do whatever you want. But peace out. 3 years later, the last few years since the QB attack had been rather quiet for Konoha. The dead were put to rest, buildings were rebuilt, the Uchiha being blamed for the attack, making them rather annoyed with the rest of the village. Of course, there is still the threat of Kumo and Iwa lurking in the background. In Naruto's case, growing up with Jiraiya so far has been interesting, to say the least. Naruto was able to walk and talk by two, and was a wild blur of energy that could hide pretty well a kid his age, requiring Jonin to find him. Another thing is that Naruto still doesn't know about the QB, as no one really wants to talk about it around him. During the 3 years, both Jiraiya and Kakashi moved into the Uzumaki apartments, the main building, to keep an eye on Naruto, a better eye on Naruto. Jiraiya on the fourth floor, Kakashi on the second. Thankfully, there were no threats. There weren't any threats to Naruto's life in this time. Even though every time Jiraiya took Naruto out to play at the park, his parents pulled their children away in fear and hate. Naruto, of course, was oblivious to this so far, which was a relief to Jiraiya and Hiruzen, as they weren't ready to tell him why the villagers didn't like him. This didn't mean Naruto didn't have any friends, as Jiraiya didn't take him to the clans that were on his side to play with him and with their kids. Naruto would feel out of place when he went to the Hyugas, as they were very strict and a proper clan. Not that it stopped him from going there most of the times. He really enjoyed Hinata's and company. This led the current events, as the Kumo sent a peace treaty as well as his head ninja to sign it. This made people of Konoha happy, as this meant that hostilities would end, and maybe even some similar to the lines in Suna with Suna. Sadly, the peace treaty was a cover for Kumo to kidnap a Hyuga for their special dojutsu. The Byakugan create their own clan of powerful dojutsu users. Of course, while the head ninja was in Konoha, he had a diner with all clans, leaving the Hyugas last, so he could kidnap a Hyuga child and leave right away. What he did not count on was Jiraiya being back in town, and at this time making the missions all the harder to complete. Now, Naruto, don't forget to be on your best behavior tonight, warned Jiraiya as he led Naruto to the Hyuga compound. Why, Naruto asked, who was excited to notice the glares he was getting. Because the Kumo Head Ninja will be here tonight. Before he heads back home, Jiraiya answered, "You don't think he'll try something, will he?" Asked Naruto innocently. "There's always a chance that might happen. It's why I'm leaving toes behind, to keep an eye on some things," replied Jiraiya. When will I get to summon the toad?" asked Naruto. "When you graduate from the Ninja Academy," Jiraiya answered. "I've told you this before numerous times, Naruto." "Welcome, Lord Jiraiya," said Hyuga as Jiraiya and Naruto approached the Hyuga compound. "Thanks, nodded Jiraiya. Now, Naruto, don't be bothering the Kimonin. The party in horror of a peace treaty soon, honor of the peace treaty soon, took place after Jiraiya dropped Naruto off. During the time, Naruto spent most of the party staying back and hanging out with Hinata and her cousin Neji. The Kumonen did notice Naruto, but didn't think much of him, being told that Naruto was just one of Hinata's friends from outside the clan when he asked about him. So Neji, how's your training going? Asked Naruto. I've started not that long ago, Naruto, but father says I'm making great progress. Neji replied, I wish I could learn the gentle fish wine, Naruto. Only those that have the Byakugan can effectively use the gentle fish. Said Neji, alright, E3, time for bed. Hiruzen Hizashi, Neji's father, and Hinata's uncle. But I'm not tired, Naruto whined, just before letting a big yawn. Right off to bed now, Hizashi said. Neji, stay with them, just in case. Of course, father, replied Neji. Later that night, after everyone was gone to bed, the Kumanen snuck into the hill compound and kidnapped Hinata. Little did he know there were two others in his room, or that Jiraiya was keeping an eye on him for anything funny. I don't know what's so special about these eyes. I mean, they haven't noticed me yet. The Kumanen whispered with himself. The man quickly found Hinata's room and snuck through the window and grabbed her and ran off, not noticing that he also grabbed Naruto as well. As they both fell asleep in each other's arms, Neji, who used the bathroom at the time, came back into the room. Neji saw his cousin and Naruto missing. Father, uncle, Hinata and Naruto are missing, yelled Neji as he ran towards where his father slept. What? Yelled Hiyashi as he bursted out of his room. It's true. When I got back to the bathroom, needing the bathroom, both of them were gone, and the window was wide open. And explained Neji, stay here while me and your father go look for them, Hiyashi said, who was livid. Meanwhile, the Kumanen suddenly realized that he picked up another child when Naruto woke up and noticed the situation he was in, and Hinata were in, and yelled and began to struggle, waking up Hinata and help! Somebody get me! And Hinata. I'm not gonna say that word. But how the heck did I miss to pick up another twerp? Swore the Kumonen. No matter, Kumonen could always use more ninjas. Naruto screamed, alerted all nearby ninjas as well as the toads to what was going on and their location. Lord Jiraiya, that Kumonen took Naruto as well as Hinata. Why he did, I'm not sure. Kuma doesn't know about him having a QB sibling or who his parents are. Informed Hizashi. I'm not sure either, but he's going to regret taking my grandson. I can promise that, said Jiraiya. As the Kumonen kept running, Naruto used his position to punch the man square in his face. Square in his family Jews, I meant, as hard as he could, forcing the man to drop him and Hinata in pain. You know, I was just gonna keep running, leaving you to alone, but now I'm gonna make you pay for that, snorted the man. Snorted Kumanen as he went out, yelled at Kunai. I won't let you take us, yelled Naruto in defense. Look, you have a choice, brat, snorted the man. To move. Only to be stopped by a switch punch to his face. Angered Jiraiya. I think differently. Now, we see a little game was. Hiyashi, as he used the 64 palms on a man to knock him out. Due to how angry he was, instead killed him. This is going to not end well, noted Jiraiya. With him dead, instead alive, we can't find out the Kumonen's plan. Plus, and can't deny anything as well. Forgive me, Lord Jiraiya. I was enraged. I wasn't thinking clear enough not to kill him. Apologize, Hiyashi. Come on, let's get these two back home safe. Jiraiya picked up the two children. Yes, let's. Agreed, Hiyashi, as he took Hinata in his own arms. I'm glad, Naruto. had just a strong set of lungs on him to let us find out them so easily. Indeed, I suspect Naruto is going to watch training so he can pick those precious to him. Said Jiraiya as the two men left walking. Hinata as well, though I fear she may not perform as well as Neji due to her kind nature, replied Higashi. Who knows? But I've got to get back out to the field soon. If I could have kept this from happening in the first place, maybe. But you have helped ease some of the tension of the Uchiha clan while you've been here. Noted Higashi. True, but we don't know who took over the Kyuubi that night. As far as we know, only an Uchiha can develop that kind of ability, said Jiraiya. As at least I know which families are in the clear so far. But with so many, it's hard to clear all of them. Yes, it's late. I wish you a good night and good luck, said Higashi as he broke off towards his home. Jiraiya was currently in thinking that Naruto would want to start his ninja training after that night. Of course, being only 3, Jiraiya had to start him light exercises and learning how to read and write, as well as other important things. He would need to know, like math, science, and how to take care of himself. Naruto, I'm leaving. I'm going to be leaving soon, so to manage my spy network, make sure something happens like this with the Kumanin doesn't happen right again. But I don't want you to go, cried Naruto. Don't worry, Kakashi will be here to watch over you while I'm gone. Plus, whenever I'm in town, I'll come visit you. Okay, said Naruto sadly. But don't worry, I'll make you proud. I'll learn everything there is. Good to hear. Just be careful as to not let not everyone will keep keen on teaching things, like me or Kakashi, or Jiraiya. Then I'll be extra sneaky about it. Announced Naruto. That way they'll never catch me. Aha. I knew you'd be good at hiding. But please be careful. Don't go snooping in places you shouldn't, Jiraiya said. Right, agreed Naruto. Soon after Jiraiya left to go back to field, knowing Naruto would be safe with Kakashi living in the same building as him, and all around protection shields that were etched across the building by Naruto's ancestors. The years after Jiraiya left was lately uneventful. Naruto started noticing the looks people gave him, and wondered why that was. In response, he began reading books he could get his hands on, except for a little orange books that Jiraiya forbade Naruto from reading, starting that it could, if a certain person found out, he'd be dead. He'd be a dead man walking. Naruto's love of knowledge hasn't hindered by the fact that the library prevented his entry, that as he would sneak in after hours to read. This led him to start sneaking into the clan libraries as well, seeing what they might hold, not realizing that it was wrong to do so. He didn't know they were off limits to not clan members at first. Once he did, he began to copy the information down for his own use, as well as piling the trash of most clans. Just copied their old and worn scrolls and tossed them out. The night before the trash was collected, Naruto started watching various ninjas train and pick up a lot of jujutsu and fighting styles that he wanted to learn, eventually including the Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto had left half from the entrance of the third floor, converted into his own personal library, with the right half be his Finjutsu workroom. As Naruto became interested in Finjutsu and was very happy to learn, he could start learning that almost right away, as it requires perfect penmanship to work correctly. By the time Naruto was 5, he learned the henge as well as the Shadow Clone Jutsu but kept the second one a secret from everyone else. Naruto was taught some gentle fish as thanks for saving Hinata by Hiyashi. Speaking of Hiyashi, things went badly for him. Just like Jiraiya, they said they would demand his head for killing his head ninja. Otherwise, the war would be waged. Hiyashi was more than willing to give himself up, but his brother Hiyashi took his place by his own free will. This caused Neji to become bitter and fatalistic, as well as both Naruto and Hinata, much to Hiyashi's dismay. Today was another day in Konoha, with the now 5-year-old Naruto going home, having lunch for his favorite ramen bar, ramen Uruchiraku Ramen, when he was ambushed by a large number of hopefully drunk ninjas and villagers. Hey, looky, what I found, a demon on his own. Now drunk guys. Hey, let's go finish what the force started. At the end, little friend shouted one drunk shinobi, completely forgetting that doing so would cause their lives to be forfeit. As he threw a kunai at Naruto, who barely moved out the way. Leave me alone. What did I ever do to you? Cried Naruto, as he ran away, forgetting where his home was in a panic. Get him, the drunk heads. As they chased Naruto, throwing anything they could find in their hands, and while they ran. Naruto ran as fast as he could, but he couldn't quite avoid getting hit by some other items being thrown at him. Naruto was soon trapped in a dead alley with no way for him to escape. Now, demon, we get our revenge for what you did to us. He had one of the drunks victoriously, as a large group descended upon the helpless Naruto, who barely protected himself from some truly nasty injuries, as well as the group assaulted Naruto in numerous ways and quickly started to being killed off by an enraged Kakashi. Along with his Ambu team, while the drunks noticed that they were being killed, they turned to run, but stopped by the third Kage, preventing them from escaping their fate, as they had broken the law. Inu, take Naruto to the hospital as fast as you can. I'll join you as soon as I can. Ordered Hiruzen, who then thought, I hope you aren't affected too badly by this, Naruto. Well, this is not how I wanted us to meet, the QB said, as he sees Naruto's unconscious form in front of him. Now, I'll be ending this video off. And if you like this video, subscribe. If you want to, you can unsubscribe, like anything. But peace out.